Right now, as you watch this, your body might be destroying itself, and you don't even know it. Here's what I mean. A meta-analysis of 58 randomized controlled trials involving 3,508 people found that chronic stress keeps your cortisol levels dangerously high, and that alone can wreck your immune system, your sleep, your memory, and even your heart. Cortisol is the hormone your body makes when it feels threatened. A little bit of it is fine, but too much? Too much will break you down from the inside out. And here's what most people get wrong. They think stress is just a feeling, something in your head. No, stress is a full-body event. When something scares you or puts pressure on you, a tiny part of your brain called the hypothalamus sends an alarm signal. That alarm wakes up your adrenal glands, which sit right on top of your kidneys. Those glands then flood your blood with adrenaline and cortisol, raising your heart rate, spiking your blood sugar, and shutting down systems your body considers non-essential, like digestion and immune defense. Plus, this was designed to help you escape real danger, like running from a wild animal in the jungle or dodging a falling tree. But today, your body fires this same alarm when you're stuck in Lagos traffic for 2 hours, when your boss sends a nasty email, or when your rent is due and your account is low. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a lion and a landlord, and that is the problem. So stay with me, because in this video, I'm going to show you, step by step, exactly how to stay calm every single day. Let me explain what happens inside your skull when stress hits. You have a part of your brain called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's fire alarm. Its job is to scan everything around you and decide, is this dangerous? When it thinks you're in trouble, it sends a signal to your hypothalamus, which then activates what scientists call the HPA axis, your body's main stress response highway. The HPA axis stands for hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. That's a fancy way of saying your brain talks to a gland in the middle of your head, which then talks to your adrenal glands, which then release cortisol into your bloodstream. This all happens in seconds. Your heart speeds up, your muscles tighten, your breathing gets shallow. You're now in fight or flight mode. Plus, here's the scary part. For many of us, this system never fully turns off. You go to sleep thinking about unpaid bills. You wake up dreading your commute. You scroll your phone and see bad news. Each one of these moments pokes your amygdala, and it fires off another alarm. Over time, this keeps your cortisol high, all day, every day. And research confirms that this long-term activation puts you at risk for depression, heart disease, weight gain, memory loss, muscle pain, and even stroke. But don't worry. I'm about to show you how to shut this alarm off on purpose. Here's something most people don't know. Cortisol is not always bad. In fact, you need it. Your cortisol naturally peaks about 30 minutes after you wake up and then slowly drops throughout the day, reaching its lowest levels at night so your body can rest and recover. That morning spike gives you the energy to get out of bed and start your day. That's normal. The problem is when your daily cortisol pattern gets flattened. A longitudinal study from the Minnesota Longitudinal Study of Risk and Adaptation found that people exposed to high stress across their lives developed flattened cortisol rhythms, meaning their cortisol stays elevated when it should be low and drops when it should be high. So instead of having natural energy in the morning and natural calm at night, you feel tired in the morning and wired at night. This is why some of you can't sleep even though you're exhausted. This is why you feel foggy at 10 a.m. but anxious at midnight. Your cortisol rhythm is upside down, and the steps I'm about to teach you are specifically designed to fix that rhythm, to bring your body back to its natural pattern. Step 1 starts with something you do about 20,000 times a day, and you're probably doing it wrong.
Your breath! That's the first tool, and it's the most powerful one you have.
A systematic review of 58 clinical trials found that 54 out of 72 breathing-based exercises significantly reduced stress and anxiety in participants. That's a 75% success rate from just breathing differently. Here's why it works. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your body's brake pedal. It tells your brain, hey, we're safe, calm down. Deep breathing signals your vagus nerve, which then tells your brain to reduce cortisol, lower your heart rate, and drop your blood pressure. You are literally talking to your nervous system through your breath. But not all breathing is equal. Let me explain. There's a specific technique that outperformed even mindfulness meditation in a controlled study. It's called cyclic sighing, and I'll teach it to you in just a moment. First, let me show you why shallow breathing makes everything worse. Plus, most people breathe into their chest, short, quick, shallow breaths. You probably do this right now when you're answering a stressful phone call, rushing to catch a bus, or sitting at your desk with a tight deadline. This chest breathing actually mimics what your body does during a panic attack. So your brain reads it as a sign of danger, and it fires up more cortisol. A quantitative systematic review confirmed that diaphragmatic breathing, where you breathe deep into your belly instead of your chest, reduces both stress hormone levels in saliva and scores on psychological stress questionnaires. The participants who breathed from their belly showed lower cortisol, lower blood pressure, and lower respiratory rate, all from changing where they breathe. So rule number 1 of staying calm every day, stop breathing into your chest. Start breathing into your belly. Put your hand on your stomach. When you breathe in, your stomach should push out. When you breathe out, it should go in. That's diaphragmatic breathing. Simple, free, and incredibly effective. Now let me teach you that cyclic sighing technique I mentioned. This technique was tested at Stanford University. In a randomized controlled study, just 5 minutes of cyclic sighing per day for 1 month improved mood and reduced physiological stress more than mindfulness meditation. 5 minutes. That's it. Here's how you do it. Breathe in through your nose. Then, without exhaling, take a second shorter inhale on top of that, like a double sip of air. Then, let it all out through your mouth in one long, slow exhale. That's 1 cycle. Repeat this for 5 minutes. The double inhale fully expands your lungs. The long exhale activates your parasympathetic nervous system hard. It's like hitting a reset button on your entire stress response. Do this every morning before you check your phone, before you look at any messages, before you step into the chaos of the day. 5 minutes of cyclic sighing. It costs nothing, and science says it works better than meditation for calming your body down. But breathing is just the start. The next step is about what happens in a specific part of your brain and how you can literally rewire it. Remember the amygdala? That fire alarm in your brain? Here's the amazing thing. You can make it smaller. A systematic review of neurobiological studies found that regular mindfulness practice leads to a measurable reduction in both the size and the reactivity of the amygdala, which directly lowers stress and anxiety levels. What does that mean in simple words? It means your brain's alarm system becomes quieter. It stops screaming at every little thing. Plus, instead of panicking when someone cuts you off in traffic, or when you see an unexpected charge on your bank statement, or when your child spills food on the floor, your brain just handles it calmly. And this isn't some ancient mystery, this is neuroscience. Brain scans show this change. Harvard researchers used fMRI brain scans to show that after just 8 weeks of mindful attention training, the amygdala was visibly less activated when participants viewed emotional images. 8 weeks to start physically changing your brain. So how do you do this? That's next. I know. You hear meditation and you think, sitting cross-legged in silence for an hour? No. That's not what I'm asking. I'm talking about something so simple, you can do it on a bus. Here's the method. Sit or lie down. Close your eyes. Breathe normally. Now, just notice your thoughts. Don't try to stop them. Don't judge them. Just watch them pass like cars on a road. When your mind wanders, and it will wander, gently bring your attention back to your breathing. That's it. That's mindfulness meditation. Start with 5 minutes a day. A randomized controlled trial found that even a 3-day intensive mindfulness meditation training reduced the connection between the amygdala and the stress processing centers of the brain in unemployed, highly stressed adults. 3 days, and the brain started rewiring itself. Imagine what happens after 30 days, after 90 days, after a year. You are building a calmer brain, brick by brick. And I'll tell you later in this video exactly how to build a daily practice that sticks. But first, there's a hidden calm killer most people ignore completely. If you're not sleeping well, nothing else I teach you will fully work. Sleep isn't just rest, it's your brain's repair session, and when you skip it, everything falls apart. A landmark fMRI study found that just one night of sleep deprivation causes a 60% increase in amygdala reactivity to negative emotional images. 60%. That means after one bad night of sleep, your brain's alarm system is turned up to maximum. Everything feels more threatening. Everything feels more stressful. You overreact to small problems. You snap at people you love. And it gets worse. The same research showed that sleep deprivation breaks the connection between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that helps you think before you react. So not only is your alarm louder, but your ability to turn it off is gone. This is why tired people make bad decisions, lose their temper, and feel overwhelmed by things that normally wouldn't bother them. Sleep is not optional for calmness. It's required. So how do you fix your sleep? Here are 3 things you can do tonight. First, set a consistent bedtime. Your body's cortisol rhythm needs routine. Go to bed at the same time every night, even weekends. Your brain will start to expect sleep, and it will lower cortisol automatically. Second, stop looking at your phone at least 30 minutes before bed. The blue light from your screen tells your brain it's still daytime. Instead, do something boring. Read a physical book, fold laundry, write in a journal. Let your brain wind down. Third, make your room dark and cool. Your body temperature naturally drops when you sleep. A hot room fights against that. And any light, even a small LED from a charger, can signal your brain to stay alert. Research has shown that poor habitual sleep quality moderates the association between heightened amygdala reactivity and increased stress symptoms. Better sleep means a calmer brain. And there's more I want to share about sleep, but first, let me introduce you to the next step in our Calm course. Exercise. And no, you don't need a gym membership, you don't need fancy equipment, you just need to move. A meta-analysis of 32 randomized controlled trials covering 3,243 people found that exercise had a large effect on reducing depression and a moderate effect on reducing anxiety. That's not a small finding, that's huge. Why does exercise calm you down? Multiple reasons. First, it burns off excess cortisol and adrenaline. Your body made those hormones to help you fight or run. When you exercise, you're giving your body what it asked for, movement. Second, exercise floods your brain with endorphins, your body's natural painkillers and mood lifters. And here's something interesting. Research shows that people who exercise regularly have blunted stress responses when life hits hard, meaning their body stays calmer under pressure compared to people who don't exercise. Exercise doesn't just help you in the moment, it trains your body to be calmer all the time. So what kind of exercise works best? Keep watching. You don't need to run a marathon. A systematic review and meta-analysis found that walking, just plain walking, significantly reduces both depression and anxiety symptoms. Walking, the most basic form of movement. Aim for 30 minutes of walking a day, and if you can, walk outside. Walk through a park. Walk along a road with trees. Walk around your neighborhood in the morning air. Being in nature adds a bonus calming effect on your nervous system that indoor exercise doesn't match. Here's a powerful finding. Studies show that exercising just 3 times per week is actually more effective for mental health than exercising 4 to 7 times per week. More isn't always better. Consistency beats intensity. 3 walks a week, that's your minimum. And if you're thinking, I don't have time, I want you to remember this. You have 168 hours in a week. I'm asking for 1.5 of them. Now let's move to something that seems too simple to work, but science says it's one of the most powerful calm tools in existence. Gratitude. Saying thank you. Noticing what's good. It sounds soft, it sounds basic, but listen to what the research says. Studies found that people who practice gratitude had about 23% lower cortisol levels, better cardiac function, and greater emotional resilience to setbacks. 23% lower cortisol from just appreciating what you have. Why? Because gratitude activates your medial prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for emotional regulation. At the same time, it decreases activity in the amygdala, your fear center, which means your brain produces fewer alarm signals and more feel-good chemicals like dopamine and serotonin. And this gets more interesting. UCLA researchers found that people who practice gratitude showed more activity in their medial prefrontal cortex even 3 months after they started the practice. The brain was still changing long after the exercise. Gratitude literally rewires your neural pathways. And I'm going to show you a 5-minute gratitude practice that you can start tonight. Every night before you sleep, write down 3 things you're grateful for. That's it. 3 things. They don't have to be big. They can be simple like, my friend called to check on me today, or I ate a good meal for lunch, or the weather was nice when I walked outside. The key is specificity. Don't just write, I'm grateful for my family. Write why. Write, I'm grateful my sister sent me a funny video today because it made me laugh when I was stressed. The more detail, the more your brain engages with the positive emotion. A randomized controlled trial of pregnant women who kept gratitude journals 4 times per week for 3 weeks showed lower cortisol levels and less stress compared to the group who received standard care alone. 3 weeks, 4 entries per week. That's 12 total journal entries, and their stress hormones dropped. This is one of the cheapest, easiest, and most researched tools for calmness. Grab a notebook. Start tonight. Now let's talk about something you put in your body that's either helping or hurting your calmness. What you eat directly affects your stress levels. This might surprise you, but your gut and your brain are constantly talking to each other. Scientists call this the gut-brain axis. When your gut is inflamed from bad food, it sends stress signals straight to your brain. Foods high in sugar, like candy, soda, and pastries, cause your blood sugar to spike and then crash. That crash triggers a cortisol release because your body thinks it's in danger. So that donut you had for breakfast? It didn't just give you a sugar rush, it set off your stress alarm 90 minutes later. On the other hand, foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like fish, walnuts, and flax seeds, actually help lower inflammation and support brain function. Magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, bananas, and dark chocolate help relax your muscles and calm your nervous system. So think of your diet as either fuel for calm or fuel for stress. Choose wisely. And there's another substance most of you consume every day that might be your biggest calm saboteur. Coffee. I know you love it, but here's the truth. Caffeine directly increases cortisol production. It stimulates your adrenal glands to pump out more stress hormones. For some people, 1 cup is fine. For others, especially if you're already anxious, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire. The worst time to drink coffee is first thing in the morning. Why? Because your cortisol is already at its peak when you wake up. Adding caffeine on top of already high cortisol creates an excessive spike. A better approach is to wait at least 90 minutes after waking before your first cup. By then, your natural cortisol starts to dip, and the caffeine fills in without causing an overload. And if you find yourself needing 3, 4, 5 cups to get through the day, that's a sign your sleep and stress are broken. You're using caffeine as a crutch instead of fixing the root problem. Try cutting back to 1 cup, max 2, and stop all caffeine by 2 p.m. so it doesn't wreck your sleep. All right, now let me share something about how your thoughts create stress. even when nothing bad is actually happening. Here's a truth that changes everything. Most of your stress doesn't come from what's happening to you. It comes from what you think about what's happening to you. Two people can face the exact same situation and have totally different stress responses. Why? Their thoughts. When you get a flat tire, you can think, "This is a disaster. My whole day is ruined. Nothing ever goes right for me." Or you can think, "This is annoying, but I'll handle it, and I'll still get where I need to go." Same flat tire, completely different stress levels in your body. This is not positive thinking nonsense. This is neuroscience. Your perception of a stressful event directly influences what happens in your body, affecting which hormones get released and how intensely your stress system activates. Your thoughts are sending instructions to your nervous system. So managing your thoughts isn't some luxury, it's a survival skill. And the technique for doing this is called cognitive reframing. Let me break it down. Cognitive reframing means catching a stressful thought and changing the way you look at it, not ignoring the problem, not pretending everything is fine, but choosing a perspective that's more accurate and less catastrophic. Here's how it works in real life. You don't get a promotion at work. Your first thought might be, "I'm a failure. They'll never promote me. Maybe I should just quit." Stop. Reframe. "I didn't get it this time. What can I learn? What can I improve? This isn't the end. It's information." Same situation, different thought. Massively different cortisol response. The more you practice this, the more automatic it becomes. Your brain literally builds new pathways. You start defaulting to calmer, more balanced thoughts instead of spiraling into worst-case scenarios. This is one of the foundations of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is one of the most studied and effective treatments for anxiety and stress in the world. Practice it daily. Catch the thought, challenge it, reframe it. Now let me show you another powerful mental tool. Do you worry a lot? Like, a lot? Here's a trick that sounds strange but works. Schedule your worry. Pick a specific time each day, maybe 15 minutes in the afternoon, and call it your worry time. During the rest of the day, when a worry pops up, like, "What if I can't pay rent next month?" Or, "What if my test results are bad?" Or, "What if my partner is losing interest?" You write it down and tell yourself, "I'll deal with this at 4 p.m. during worry time." Then you move on. When 4 p.m. arrives, sit down and go through your list. You'll find that most of the worries have either resolved themselves or feel much less scary. Why does this work? Because it breaks the loop. Anxiety feeds on constant attention. When you postpone the worry, you take away its power. You teach your brain that you are in control of when you think about stressful things, not the other way around. Try this for 1 week. You'll be shocked at how much calmer you feel. But now, let me tell you about something physical you can do that directly calms your nervous system in under 60 seconds. Cold water. Specifically, splashing cold water on your face or taking a cold shower. This triggers something called the dive reflex. When cold water hits your face, your vagus nerve activates powerfully. Your heart rate slows, your breathing deepens, your body shifts from fight or flight into rest and recover mode. You don't need an ice bath, just 30 seconds of cold water on your face, or ending your shower with 30 seconds of cold water, is enough to trigger the response. It's uncomfortable for a moment, yes, but the calm that follows is real and measurable. This technique is used by therapists, military trainers, and high-performance athletes around the world. It's fast, free, and you can do it anywhere there's a sink. Try it the next time you feel overwhelmed. Go to the bathroom, splash cold water on your face, breathe slowly, and notice what happens. Your body will do the rest. Now, let's go deeper into something I promised to teach you earlier: how to build a daily calm practice that actually lasts. The first 30 minutes of your day set the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up and immediately grab your phone, you're handing control of your emotions to whatever notifications are waiting for you. Emails, news, social media drama. Your amygdala fires up before your feet even hit the floor. Instead, build a calm morning. Here's a simple template. Wake up. Do your 5 minutes of cyclic sighing. Then spend 5 minutes in mindfulness meditation. Then write 3 things you're grateful for. That's 15 minutes total. And you've just lowered your cortisol, activated your prefrontal cortex, and set your brain's tone for the entire day. Then eat something that supports calm, like eggs with spinach and avocado, or oatmeal with banana and a sprinkle of nuts, or yogurt with berries and seeds. Drink water before coffee. Move your body, even if it's just a 10-minute walk outside. This morning routine is your shield against the stress of the day. Without it, you're going into battle with no armor. Routine is one of the most underrated stress reducers. Your brain craves predictability. When it knows what's coming next, it doesn't need to fire up the stress response. Uncertainty is one of the biggest triggers for anxiety. Routine removes uncertainty. This doesn't mean your life has to be boring. It means the big anchors of your day should be consistent. What time you wake up, what time you eat, when you exercise, when you wind down. These anchors tell your nervous system, everything is okay, we know what's happening. People who have chaotic, unpredictable daily schedules tend to have higher cortisol throughout the day. People with consistent routines tend to have smoother cortisol curves, high in the morning, low at night, just like nature intended. Build your routine around the steps in this video, and you'll be giving your body the structure it needs to stay calm automatically. Just like your morning matters, your evening matters too. The last hour before sleep should be a transition zone. You're moving from the active, alert part of your day into the restful, recovery part. Your body needs a signal to make that switch. Here's what a calm evening looks like. 1 hour before bed, dim the lights in your home. Put your phone in another room or switch it to Do Not Disturb. Do your gratitude journal. Then do 5 minutes of slow breathing, like 4 counts in, 7 counts hold, 8 counts out. This breathing pattern specifically activates your relaxation response. Then, get into bed at the same time you did last night, and the night before that. Consistency. Your body's clock, your circadian rhythm, depends on these signals. Research shows that disrupted circadian rhythms lead to elevated cortisol and increased inflammation. Protect your evenings. They are where tomorrow's calm is built. Let's talk about your phone for a moment. Your phone is one of the biggest cortisol triggers in modern life. Every notification is a micro-stress event. Ding, your amygdala checks. Ding, it checks again. Ding, ding, ding. You might not even realize it, but your stress response activates dozens of times a day from your phone alone. Social media is even worse. Comparing yourself to someone's vacation photos, reading angry comments on a post, watching violent or disturbing content, all of this feeds your amygdala and raises cortisol. You wouldn't eat junk food for 6 hours straight and expect to feel good. So why do you scroll for hours and expect to feel calm? Start small. Set your phone to silent for 2 hours a day. Delete one social media app for a week and see how you feel. Stop reading the news before bed. You don't need to go off the grid, but you do need boundaries with your devices. Your brain will thank you. Humans are social animals. We are built to connect. And real, meaningful connection is one of the most powerful stress buffers that exists. When you spend time with people you trust and care about, your brain releases oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin directly lowers cortisol. This doesn't mean scrolling through group chats counts. I'm talking about real connection. Having a face-to-face conversation with a friend, eating dinner with your family without phones on the table, laughing with someone until your stomach hurts, hugging someone you love. These are the actions that trigger oxytocin release. Loneliness, on the other hand, is a chronic stressor. People who feel isolated have higher cortisol levels, weaker immune systems, and higher rates of depression. If you've been isolating yourself, even if it feels easier, you're actually making your stress worse. Reach out, make a call, visit someone. Connection is medicine. One of the biggest sources of daily stress is overcommitment. Saying yes to everything, taking on responsibilities that aren't yours, trying to please everyone. This fills your schedule, drains your energy, and leaves zero room for the calming practices you need. Learning to say no is not selfish. It's essential for your mental health. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying no to your own peace. Every extra task you take on is cortisol you didn't need. Practice this phrase. I appreciate you thinking of me, but I can't take that on right now. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to apologize. You just need to protect your time and energy, because nobody else will do it for you. Set boundaries. Guard your calm. Now let me share a technique that ancient traditions have used for thousands of years to find peace. Most stress comes from two places: the past and the future. You replay mistakes from yesterday. You worry about what might go wrong tomorrow. But stress cannot exist in the present moment. When you are fully here, right now, stress has nowhere to live. This is the core teaching of mindfulness, and it's found in Buddhism, Stoicism, Hinduism, Taoism, and almost every philosophical tradition on Earth. The present moment is your only point of power. The past is gone. The future hasn't happened. Right now is all there is. Practice this today. When you eat lunch, just eat. Notice the taste, the texture, the smell. Don't eat while scrolling, watching a video, or having an argument with someone. When you shower, just shower. Feel the water. Hear the sound. When you walk, notice your feet touching the ground, the air on your skin, the sounds around you. This is present moment awareness, and it pulls your brain out of the stress loop instantly. Here's another simple but powerful technique you can use to release tension you don't even know you're holding. It's called a body scan, and it takes about 10 minutes. Lie down or sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Start at the top of your head. Notice any tension there. Then move to your forehead, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders. Go slowly. Ask yourself at each spot, am I holding tension here? If you are, breathe into that area and relax it on the exhale. Move down to your chest, your belly, your lower back, your hips, your legs, your feet. Most people discover they've been clenching their jaw all day, or their shoulders have been up near their ears without realizing it, or their lower back has been tight since morning. The body scan helps you find hidden stress and release it. Do this every night before bed, and your sleep quality will improve dramatically. Writing is one of the most therapeutic things you can do, and you don't need to be a good writer. You just need to be honest. When you write down your thoughts and feelings, you transfer them from your overwhelmed brain onto a page where they become manageable. Studies have shown that expressive writing, where you write openly about stressful experiences, can lower cortisol, reduce anxiety, and improve immune function. The act of putting words to your feelings engages your prefrontal cortex, which helps you process emotions instead of being controlled by them. Here's a simple daily journal prompt. Every evening, write, "Today, the most stressful thing was blank. Here's how I handled it, blank. Tomorrow, I will handle it better by blank." 3 sentences, 2 minutes. But over time, you're training your brain to reflect instead of react. And that's the difference between someone who stays calm and someone who doesn't. Not all stress is created equal. It helps to think of stress on a ladder. At the bottom, level 1, you have mild daily irritations. Things like waiting in a long queue, misplacing your car keys, or your internet going slow. These are annoying but not dangerous. In the middle, levels 2 and 3, you have moderate stressors. Work deadlines you're behind on, arguments with someone you love, or money problems you can't solve right away. These raise cortisol but are manageable with the right tools. At the top, levels 4 and 5, you have major life stressors. Losing a job, a serious illness, the death of someone close to you, or a relationship ending. These require more than breathing exercises. They require support systems, professional help, and extended self-care. The tools in this video work for all levels, but knowing where you are on the ladder helps you choose the right response. Don't treat a level 5 stressor with a level 1 tool. Be honest about what you're facing. There's no shame in needing help. None. If your stress is so severe that you can't sleep for weeks, can't function at work, can't eat, or can't stop crying, please talk to a professional. A therapist, a counselor, a doctor. These are trained people who can help you. The stress management techniques that are most effective at changing cortisol levels, according to the meta-analysis I mentioned, include mindfulness and relaxation training. But the researchers also noted that professional guidance enhances these results. You don't have to fight this alone. Think of it this way. If you broke your leg, you wouldn't just sit at home and breathe deeply. You'd go to a doctor. Mental and emotional stress is no different. Your brain is an organ. It can be injured by stress, and it can be healed with the right support. Okay, let's continue building your toolkit. The next few steps go deeper. Holding anger and resentment towards someone is like drinking poison and expecting them to get sick. Unforgiveness is a chronic stressor. Your body stores that anger as physical tension and elevated cortisol. Every time you think about that person or replay what they did, your amygdala fires again. Forgiveness is not about saying what they did was okay. It's about releasing your body from the burden of carrying it. It's a decision to stop letting that person control your nervous system from a distance. Think about someone who wronged you years ago. Notice what happens in your body right now. Does your chest tighten? Does your jaw clench? Do your shoulders go up? That's cortisol. That's stress from a memory. Forgiveness dissolves that physical reaction. It frees you. Write a letter you never send. Say the words out loud in an empty room. However you do it, let it go. Your calm depends on it. Being in nature is one of the fastest ways to lower cortisol. Trees, water, open sky, birdsong, these things signal your ancient brain that you are safe. For millions of years, humans lived outdoors. Your nervous system still responds to natural environments as home. Research on what the Japanese call Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, shows that spending as little as 20 minutes in a natural setting reduces cortisol, lowers blood pressure, and improves mood. You don't need a forest, a park, a garden, even a few potted plants in your apartment can help. Make it a habit. Once a week, spend at least 30 minutes in the most natural setting you can find. Walk through a park near your home. Sit under a tree during your lunch break. Watch the sunset from your rooftop. Let your eyes rest on greenery. Let your ears hear birds instead of car horns. Nature doesn't ask anything from you. It just gives. And right now, you need what it's offering. Don't skip this one. Laughter is one of the most underrated stress tools. When you laugh, your body releases endorphins, reduces cortisol, relaxes your muscles, and increases blood flow. A good 10-minute laughing session can relax your body for up to 45 minutes afterward. Watch a comedy show that always makes you crack up. Call that one friend who can make you laugh no matter what. Play with children or animals. Watch funny videos for 10 minutes instead of news clips. Choose laughter the way you choose food. It's nourishment for your nervous system. You might think, but I don't feel like laughing. That's exactly why you need to do it. Laughter breaks the cycle of stress. It interrupts the spiral. Even forced laughter, where you make yourself laugh on purpose, has been shown to trigger similar physical benefits. So laugh. Loudly. Often. And without apology. Music goes straight to your emotions. The right song can shift your entire nervous system in minutes. Slow, calming music with 60 to 80 beats per minute has been shown to lower heart rate, reduce cortisol, and promote relaxation. Create a calm playlist. Fill it with instrumental music, nature sounds, acoustic guitar, piano, or whatever makes you feel peaceful. Play it during your morning routine. Play it while cooking dinner. Play it as you wind down for bed. Let it become the soundtrack of your calm life. And be careful with the other music you listen to. Aggressive, angry, or anxious music can increase cortisol. I'm not saying don't enjoy it, but be aware of what it does to your body. If you've been feeling stressed all day and your playlist is full of heavy beats and dark lyrics, that might be feeding the fire instead of calming it. The news is designed to stress you out. That's not a conspiracy, that's a business model. Fear gets clicks. Outrage gets shares. The more stressed and angry you feel, the more you keep watching, and your amygdala pays the price. You don't need to check the news 10 times a day. Once in the morning for 10 minutes is enough to stay informed. Choose one trusted source. Read it, then close it. If something major happens, you'll hear about it. Trust me. But the constant drip, drip, drip of negative headlines is toxic to your nervous system. The same goes for doom scrolling on social media. Every scary post, every angry debate, every heartbreaking story, your amygdala processes each one as a mini threat. 10 minutes of scrolling can produce more cortisol than a real-life argument. Guard what you let into your brain. It's the most important organ you have. This one is simple but often forgotten. Drink water. Dehydration increases cortisol. When your body doesn't have enough water, it treats it as a stress signal. Your heart works harder. Your blood thickens. Your brain function slows down. Most adults need about 2 to 3 liters of water per day. More if you're active, in a hot climate, or drinking caffeine, which is a diuretic. Keep a water bottle with you. Set reminders on your phone if you need to. Sip throughout the day, don't chug it all at once. Many people who think they're stressed or tired are actually just dehydrated. Before you reach for another cup of coffee, try a glass of water first. You might be surprised at how much better you feel within 20 minutes. Simple things. Small things. They add up to a calmer life. Your body stores stress in your muscles, especially your neck, shoulders, jaw, and lower back. When you're stressed, these muscles tighten unconsciously. Over time, this creates chronic pain, headaches, and even more stress. It's a vicious cycle. Stretching for just 10 minutes a day breaks this cycle. Focus on your neck, rolling it gently side to side. Your shoulders, pulling them back and down. Your back, twisting gently left and right. Your hips, doing a seated figure 4 stretch. These are simple movements that release tension your body has been hoarding. Do this after waking up, before bed, or during a midday break at work. Stand up from your desk, stretch your arms overhead, touch your toes, roll your wrists. Your colleagues might look at you funny, your kids might laugh at you, your partner might shake their head, but your cortisol will drop, and that's what matters. I mentioned this breathing pattern earlier, and I want to make sure you learn it properly. It's called the 4-7-8 breath. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 7 counts. Breathe out through your mouth for 8 counts. That's 1 cycle. Do 4 cycles. That's it, less than 2 minutes. The extended exhale is the key. When you exhale longer than you inhale, you force your parasympathetic nervous system to activate. It's like manually pressing the calm button on your body's control panel. This technique was popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil, but it's based on ancient pranayama breathing from Indian yogic traditions. East meets West. Science meets ancient wisdom. And both agree this works. Use it when you feel anxiety rising. Use it before a difficult conversation. Use it in bed when you can't sleep. 4 in, 7 hold, 8 out. Here's another technique therapists have used for decades. Progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. The idea is simple. You deliberately tense a muscle group for 5 seconds, then release it. The release creates a wave of relaxation that's deeper than just trying to relax normally. Start with your feet. Curl your toes tight for 5 seconds, then release. Feel the difference. Move to your calves. Tense them. Release. Your thighs. Tense. Release. Continue up through your stomach, chest, hands, arms, shoulders, face. By the time you reach the top of your head, your entire body will feel like melting butter. This works because your brain cannot hold tension and relaxation at the same time. When you force a muscle to tense and release, you're teaching it what relaxation feels like. Over time, your body learns to release tension on its own. Do this 3 times a week, especially on high-stress days. Close your eyes. Imagine you're standing on a quiet beach. The sun is warm on your skin. The waves are gently rolling in and out. You can hear seagulls. You can feel the sand between your toes. You can smell the salt in the air. How do you feel right now? That relaxation you just felt? That's real. Your brain cannot fully distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you visualize a calm scene, your brain responds as if you're actually there. A systematic review noted that visualization encourages neural changes similar to mindfulness, creating calm states that reduce anxiety. Create your own calm scene. Maybe it's a mountain lake, a forest trail, your grandmother's kitchen, or a quiet room with candles. Make it vivid. Practice visiting it in your mind for 3 to 5 minutes daily. This is your mental escape room. No matter where you are, no matter how stressful things get, you can close your eyes and go there. Some things in life you cannot control. The weather, other people's behavior, the economy, traffic. These things will cause stress if you fight them, but if you accept them, the stress dissolves. This is a central teaching in Stoic philosophy. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The Buddhist tradition teaches the same thing. Suffering comes from resisting what is. When you accept reality as it is, you stop generating unnecessary cortisol. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing your battles wisely. You can't control that it's raining, but you can bring an umbrella. You can't control that your boss is difficult, but you can control how you respond. You can't control that prices went up, but you can adjust your spending. Focus your energy where it matters. Let go of the rest. This single shift will remove half your daily stress. Perfectionism is a stress factory. If you expect everything to go perfectly, you will be stressed constantly because life never goes perfectly. Never. Not for anyone. Setting realistic expectations means saying things like, "I'll do my best on this project and that's enough," instead of, "This project has to be flawless or I'm a failure." It means saying, "Some days will be hard and that's normal," instead of, "I should be happy all the time." It means saying, "I might not get everything done today and that's okay," instead of, "I have to finish everything on my list or I'm lazy." When you lower the bar from perfect to good enough, you give yourself room to breathe, room to make mistakes, room to be human. And your cortisol drops because your brain stops treating every imperfection as a threat. Aim for progress, not perfection. That's the calm path. When was the last time you sat in complete silence? No music, no podcast, no TV, no conversation, just quiet. For most people, the answer is they can't remember. Silence gives your brain a break. All day long, your brain is processing information, sounds, sights, words, emotions. It's exhausted. Silence is like giving it a glass of cool water on a hot day. Research has shown that just 2 minutes of silence can be more relaxing than listening to calming music. Try it tomorrow. Sit somewhere alone for 10 minutes. No phone, no noise. Just sit and breathe. It might feel uncomfortable at first. Your brain will want to fill the silence with thoughts. Let it. Don't fight the thoughts, but don't chase them either. Just sit like a rock by a river, watching everything flow past you. This practice will deepen your calm in ways nothing else can. Here's a stress hack that kills procrastination and anxiety at the same time. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Don't add it to your list. Don't think about it later. Just do it. Reply to that message. Wash that single dish. File that document. Hang up that shirt. These tiny tasks pile up and create a mental weight that constantly buzzes in the background of your brain, like a phone notification you haven't cleared. Each undone task is a micro-stressor. By handling them immediately, you keep your mental space clean. Your brain has fewer open loops to worry about, and the sense of completion, even from tiny tasks, gives you a small dopamine hit that reinforces calm, productive behavior. 2 minutes. Just do it. Now. Multitasking is a myth. Your brain doesn't actually do 2 things at once. It switches between them rapidly, and each switch costs mental energy and raises stress hormones. This is called context switching, and it's one of the biggest hidden causes of daily mental fatigue. Instead of writing an email while also listening to a meeting, while also checking your chat messages, do one thing at a time. Write the email, finish it, then move to the meeting, then check your messages. You'll do each task better, faster, and with less stress. This connects back to present moment awareness. When you single task, you are fully here, fully engaged. And in that state, your cortisol stays low because your brain isn't being pulled in 5 directions at once. One thing at a time, one step at a time. That's the calm way. You don't have to do everything yourself. Trying to control every detail of every project, every task, every situation, that's a recipe for burnout. And burnout is just chronic stress that has reached its breaking point. Ask for help. At work, delegate tasks to team members. At home, let your partner handle the shopping while you do the cleaning, or let your children fold their own clothes, or ask a neighbor to help with something you've been putting off. Sharing the load isn't weakness, it's wisdom. The people who stay calmest in life are not the ones who do the most. They're the ones who do what matters and let go of the rest. They know their limits, they respect their energy, and they surround themselves with people they can trust to help. Be one of those people. When stress hits hard and you feel like you're losing control, use this grounding technique. It's called 5-4-3-2-1. It uses your senses to pull you back into the present moment and out of the panic spiral. Here's how it works. Name 5 things you can see, like your desk, a window, a cup, a shoe, and a light. Name 4 things you can touch, like the fabric of your shirt, the surface of the table, your phone case, and your own hair. Name 3 things you can hear, like a fan, traffic outside, and someone talking. Name 2 things you can smell, like soap on your hands and food from a nearby kitchen. Name 1 thing you can taste, like the toothpaste from this morning or the tea you just drank. By the time you finish this exercise, your brain has been forced to focus on what's real and present, instead of what's imagined and scary. Your amygdala calms down. Your breathing slows. You're back. Use this anytime, anywhere. It works in seconds. How do you talk to yourself when you make a mistake? If your inner voice sounds like a bully, "You're so stupid, you always mess up, you'll never get it right," then you are your own biggest source of stress. Self-compassion means treating yourself the way you would treat a good friend. When a friend fails an exam, you don't say, "You're an idiot." You say, "That's tough, but you'll try again and do better." When a friend makes a mistake at work, you don't say, "You're useless." You say, "Everyone makes mistakes. You'll figure it out." Give yourself that same kindness. Research shows that self-compassion is directly linked to lower cortisol, less anxiety, and greater emotional resilience. It's not weakness. It's not letting yourself off the hook. It's recognizing that you're human. You will stumble. You will fail sometimes. And that's okay. Be kind to yourself. It's one of the most calming things you can do. Every night, before you do your gratitude journal, do a quick 2-minute review of your day. Not to judge yourself, but to learn. Ask yourself 3 questions. What went well today? What stressed me out? What will I do differently tomorrow? This practice closes the mental loops from the day. Instead of lying in bed replaying stressful moments on a loop, you process them on paper. You give them a place to live outside of your head. And you create a plan, which gives your brain a sense of control. Over time, you'll start noticing patterns. Maybe Mondays are always your most stressful day because you overschedule yourself. Maybe you always feel anxious after talking to a certain person. Maybe your stress spikes when you skip lunch. These patterns are gold. They show you exactly where to make changes. And change is how you build a calmer life. Anger is just stress wearing a different mask. When you get angry, it's usually because you feel threatened, disrespected, or out of control. Your body's response is the same as any stress response. Cortisol spikes, heart rate jumps, muscles tighten. The next time anger rises, pause. Don't speak, don't act, just breathe. Count to 10 slowly, like a referee counting before a boxing match resumes. Those 10 seconds give your prefrontal cortex time to catch up with your amygdala. The thinking brain takes over from the reactive brain. Then ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Will it matter in 5 weeks? If not, it's not worth your cortisol. Most anger isn't. Most of the things that make us furious are forgotten within days. Save your energy for what truly matters. Respond instead of reacting. That's the calm way to handle anger. Some people are emotional vampires. They drain your energy, create drama, and trigger your stress response every time you interact with them. You know who they are. You feel worse after every conversation. You have 2 options. Set clear boundaries. I'm not available to discuss that topic. I need space right now. I can't take on your problems today. Or limit contact entirely. You are not obligated to keep anyone in your life who consistently damages your peace. This is hard, especially when the toxic person is a family member, a coworker, or a longtime friend. But your health is more important than their feelings. Your calm is more valuable than their approval. Protect your nervous system the way you would protect your child, with fierce, unapologetic love. Money stress is one of the most common and intense forms of stress, and it's one of the hardest to escape because it connects to survival. But even here, there are tools to stay calmer. First, look at the numbers. Most financial stress comes from not knowing where you stand. Sit down, write out every expense, every debt, and every income source. The unknown is always scarier than the known, just like being in a dark room is scarier than when someone turns the light on. Once you see the actual numbers, your amygdala calms down because it's no longer fighting shadows. Second, make one small change. Cancel one subscription you don't use. Cook at home 1 extra day a week. Set up an automatic savings transfer, even if it's just a tiny amount. Small actions create a sense of control, and control is the antidote to financial anxiety. You can't solve all your money problems today, but you can take one step. And one step is enough to lower your cortisol right now. Your environment affects your stress levels more than you think. Clutter creates visual noise. Your brain processes everything it sees, even if you're not aware of it. A messy desk, a chaotic room, piles of laundry, all of this quietly raises your cortisol. Create one space in your home that is clean, calm, and yours. It can be a corner of your bedroom with a comfortable chair and a plant. It can be a cleared-off desk with only what you need. It can be your balcony with a cushion and a candle. This is your calm zone. When you feel overwhelmed, go to this space. Sit, breathe, be still. Having a physical space associated with calm trains your brain. Over time, just walking into that space will trigger relaxation. It's like Pavlov's dog, but instead of salivating at a bell, you relax at the sight of your calm corner. You don't need to wait until evening to calm down. Take micro breaks throughout the day. Every 60 to 90 minutes, pause for 2 minutes. Close your eyes, take 5 deep breaths, roll your neck, stretch your hands. These tiny breaks prevent stress from building up. Think of it like releasing pressure from a pipe. If you let pressure build all day with no release, eventually the pipe bursts. That burst is your evening anxiety, your snapping at your partner, your inability to sleep. Set a gentle alarm on your phone that goes off every 90 minutes during your workday. When it rings, stop, breathe, reset, then continue. You'll find that you're actually more productive because your brain gets these regular refresh moments, like saving your progress in a video game before the big boss fight. Micro breaks, small investment, massive return. Let me put your evening together in one clear plan. 1 hour before bed, dim the lights. Put your phone away. Do your 2-minute day review. Do your gratitude journal. Do your 4-7-8 breathing or body scan. Get into bed at the same time every night. This entire routine takes about 20 minutes, but it sends powerful signals to your brain and body. It says, the day is done. You are safe. It's time to rest. And your cortisol responds by dropping to its natural nighttime low. Within a week of doing this consistently, you'll notice deeper sleep. Within 2 weeks, you'll wake up feeling more refreshed. Within a month, your entire stress response will be calmer because your body is finally getting the recovery it needs. This evening ritual is non-negotiable if you want lasting calm. And here's your morning in one clear plan. Wake up at the same time daily. Do not touch your phone. Do 5 minutes of cyclic sighing. Do 5 minutes of mindfulness meditation. Write 3 things you're grateful for. Eat a nutritious breakfast. Drink water first. Walk outside for 10 minutes if you can. This morning routine takes about 30 minutes. It costs nothing. And it calibrates your brain for a calm, focused, productive day. You're lowering cortisol, activating your prefrontal cortex, engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, all before 8 a.m. Most people spend their first 30 minutes scrolling, stressing, and rushing. You're going to spend yours building a fortress of calm. And that is why your day will be different from theirs. That is why you'll handle problems they can't handle, because you prepared. I've given you breathing techniques, meditation, gratitude, exercise, sleep strategies, journaling, reframing, grounding, visualization, cold water, stretching, boundaries, routines, nature, music, silence. Every single tool you need to stay calm every day. But here's the truth that separates those who change their lives from those who just watch videos about it. It's not about knowing these tools. It's about using them consistently, daily, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. The meta-analysis showed that mindfulness and relaxation practices consistently changed cortisol levels across multiple studies, but they worked because people did them regularly. Not once, not when they remembered, regularly. The calm life is not built in a day. It's built in daily practice, brick by brick, breath by breath, day by day. Here's what I want you to do. Commit to 30 days, just 30. Use this video as your guide. Every morning, follow the morning ritual. Every evening, follow the evening ritual. Walk 3 times a week. Do your gratitude journal every night. Practice one breathing technique daily. In 30 days, you will have done over 150 breathing exercises, written 90 gratitude entries, walked for at least 6 hours, done 30 meditation sessions, and given your brain 30 consistent nights of proper sleep preparation. That is enough to start physically changing your brain. Remember what the research showed. 8 weeks of mindfulness training visibly reduced amygdala activation on brain scans. Gratitude practitioners showed changed brain activity even 3 months later. Exercise creates lasting emotional resilience. The science is clear. The tools are free. The only thing standing between you and a calm life is your willingness to start. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for January. Don't wait until things settle down. They won't settle down. Life doesn't get less stressful. You get better at handling it. And you get better by starting. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Close this video. Go find a quiet spot. Do 5 minutes of cyclic sighing right now. Breathe in, double sip, long exhale. Feel your body change. Feel your heart slow. Feel your muscles release. That feeling, that's what calm feels like. And it's available to you every single day of your life for free forever. You deserve a calm life. You deserve to wake up without dread. You deserve to go through your day without being at war with your own body. And now, you have every tool you need to build that life. So go build it. I believe in you. And I'll see you in the next one.